great way to start off the show. John Thompson, Dallin Cuff, John Brickley with you. And wow, who saw this coming? For the team that leads the nation in scoring with 100 points, held to 66 on 36% shooting. Coach, did we just see the blueprint how to stop this offense tonight?
Maybe we saw the blueprint. I'm not sure how many people can execute it like Florida State just did. I mean, that was an old-fashioned beatdown right there.
Yeah, tremendous length. Not every team has their length or their numbers. They can run at you in waves that Leonard Hamilton does. They pressed them from the beginning. They sped them up. They took them out of what they want to do offensively. They turned them over. They had 19 points off turnovers in the game, the majority of those in the first half where they built up their lead, and they crushed them where Florida is susceptible inside. Offensive rebounds, they had 24. They had 24 second-chance points. They just dominated this game and were the areas where Florida can struggle with length and in the interior.
And for Florida especially, three-point shooting was off the mark tonight, 6 of 25. That told the story. And for Florida State, as we take a look at the highlights, Mike White's going to be shaking his head after seeing this one. How about in the first half, MJ Walker finds the lob to Phil Kofer, slamming it down, and Florida State coach had a 7-point lead at the break.
And this was from start to finish, as you just indicated. I think one thing that you noticed in the second half, they went to a lot of zone. They still were able to stop those shooters, protect the three-point line, mixing up their defenses.
I was interested to see if they were going to do it. They did that against Rutgers in their last game, but I thought more so Rutgers couldn't shoot. But they did a good job of a team that can shoot, really protecting that three-point line.
You had 17 points from Walker. And how about the performance of Terrence Mann, a career-high 25 points down on 11 of 17 shooting. And, Coach, he was just dominant in the front court.
Terrence Mann, son of a coach. His mom is the coach at Rhode Island. Dominant is an understatement. He came to play today. He showed all the skills.
And it was tied for the largest ever home loss as a ranked team for Florida. This Florida State team has been trying to find its identity with guys like Dwayne Bacon gone, Jonathan Isaac as well. What did this win do for the Seminoles tonight?
I think it helps to define that identity. And this is what a Leonard Hamilton team is. Last year's team was a bit of an aberration when you had 3 pros like that could score and go off the bounce and create their own shot. He likes to have length, athleticism, play with waves, throw waves of guys at you and pressure you for 40 minutes and take you out of what you want to do, impose your will. And that's exactly what they did in this game against their rival on their floor, mind you.
Correct. And I don't think so much it was what will this do for Florida State's mindset. I think they just sent the message to the rest of the country.
Yep.
If you listen to Coach Hamilton, he's felt pretty good about this team and a little frustrated maybe that they haven't gotten the attention that he may have wanted. But I think they know what their identity is, and now the rest of us happen to see it for the first time this year.
And for Florida, there's a lot of question marks now for a team that coming in had scored on average 100 points, missed threes, costly turnovers as well. How does Florida turn the page after a loss like this?
I think it's less questions. I think they need to. The only question I would take from them is when things do go tough, when you can't get out in transition like they could, and if you can't hit threes, how are you manufacturing offense? Are they able to manufacture offense? Who are they playing through? Because Chris Chioza's been that guy to create things for them, whether in transition or the half court. He had a bit of a struggle today. They could not get anything in transition. They couldn't buy a basket when they were open, and the turnovers were brutal. So I think the question is, what do we do when when things aren't all going our way? How do we find that guy? How do we want to run our offense? I think those questions will try to be answered over the coming weeks by Mike White.
No, without a doubt. But they have the pieces to answer those questions. You know, sometimes as a coach, you notice the problems and you sit there and say, we don't have the answers. They have the answers. Tonight was not indicative of who they are or who they will be.
And let's
John
not forget,
Igbounu coming back is going to be important, too. When Igbounu gets fully healthy, he will help them in the interior. Some of that offensive rebounding that they give up, they'll help them defensive rebound. And you can even play through, you don't play through him, but he can get you some offensive boards. He can get you some put back baskets when he's healthy.
That's a great point as well. And don't forget, Florida State has now won 4 straight over Florida.
That hurts. Chris Chioza will never have beaten his rival in his career. That's brutal for him.
Well, Florida only has maybe some minor problems, nothing compared to what the Big Ten has had so far.